All right. Hello, hello. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I think we are ready. Hello and welcome. I'm Sherry Hemstreet, and you are here because you are interested in manifesting more. You are here for the 5-day manifesting course, and I'm so thrilled to be your host. I'm so thrilled to walk you through the process of what it takes to manifest, right? Like to explain the process, to walk you through it, to answer your questions, to support you, everything. This is literally like an exact 5-day mini course of just if you were to go through like a longer program. So with that being said, I'm Sherry Hemstreet of thesherryhemstreet.com, also of yourspiritualrevolution.com. And what we are doing today is just going to be the first class. And in this class, we are going to be working on, so here's where I take a little bit of umbrage with all the gurus out there and all of the manifesting teachers, right? So everybody talks about manifesting and frequency and vibration, and I think that's great. And I understand that, but I didn't understand all of that for many years. And it almost seemed like the more convoluted things got, the more I heard about it. So like the more difficult it was to understand something, like you have to match the frequency of the amount of money you want to receive. You have to match the frequency of the car. Like drop confused. If you've heard these things and they've confused you, drop that in the comments. And this is going to be interactive. But today we're actually going to demystify that, break that down. And this is going to actually put you into the space of what you need to be doing to manifest. So that's today's lesson, right? That we're going to talk about that. And before we even dive into that, I just want to take a bit and do a little bit of like housekeeping here, right? So every day you will have access to the replay, and all you have to do is send me a message and ask for whichever day's replay the following day. I can't give you the replay the same day because it takes my team time to put it together and get it posted, but just ask me for the replay the following day. And then what we are going to do is at the end of this, if you've liked it, I'm going to make an offer because I want to help you manifest. So it's probably not enough time. I've had people manifest incredible things in 5 days. I've done something like this several times before, and people have manifested outrageous things, $1,000 here, a client for $15,000 here, a $20,000 client, all kinds of amazing things. But in reality, 5 days isn't quite enough for you to manifest exactly what you want or change your lifestyle. And so at the end of this, I am going to make an offer. And if that offends you, by all means, like, you don't have to stay for it. You don't have to participate. You don't even have to watch me. If this is something that doesn't work for you, that's great. It doesn't work for me if it doesn't work for you. And so I just want you to understand that, like, at the end of this, if you want more help, it's going to be available. If you've gotten what you need, then absolutely, this is amazing. I love that. Okay. Who am I and why the hell am I teaching this? Like, we're just going to go through things super easily, right? So I've been an entrepreneur for my whole life, really, but in this business since 2014. So you can do the math. That's 8 years. Woohoo! That's pretty exciting. But I manifested everything I have. So like, I literally am the girl I've made every wrong choice in the world, every wrong choice. I dropped out of high school. I got knocked up at 19. I moved 1,800 miles away from home. I rode a motorcycle to give birth to my son. Well, I didn't know I was going to be giving birth that day. I thought I was just going in for a checkup. Like everything, every wrong choice you can imagine, right? Every wrong choice. I was homeless with an infant, hundreds of miles from anyone I knew. I became a stripper. That was great. For 17 years, right? So yet again, more wrong choices. And it's like, I was the statistic that nobody was going to bank on. I was the person that everyone would have like written off. I was a lost cause. And so the thing that turned my life around was manifesting. And it literally took me from being homeless in a car with an infant. My son hadn't even made a year old, in a city where I knew no one, to the life that I'm living now. And now, back in 2017, I created a 7-figure business. I travel first class. My family travels first class. We're looking at another property in another city. So many things. I've spent over $100,000 on my daughter's education to date at this point, just through tutoring, exclusive private schools, taking her out of school, having her homeschooled and tutored, sending her back to school. So, all kinds of things. I retired my husband, put him back through school to do what he wanted to do. And that's really incredible. So I've done it. And I did all this through my business and manifesting money, making money, manifesting money. My first month in business, I made like $12,000. I manifested that at the end of the year when no one said I could. Everyone was like, you can't do that. I literally quit my job December 10th of 2014. And it was December. No, it wasn't December 10th. It was December 13th of 2014. Sorry, 12, 13, 14. And I went and made $12,000 in my business the last 3 weeks of the year. Hello, everyone says that's the hardest time ever to make money and nobody wants to start a business then. I was like, makes perfect sense to me. If it's illogical, it's probably going to work. And then I went on to make 6 figures by August. It was ridiculous. My first year of business, I made $148,000. I've had $200,000 days, 146K weeks. I made $75K cash working 1 hour a day in 2 weeks. I have all kinds of stories. I'm living in a home that is paid for. It is the exact home that I wanted. I have the exact car I wanted. I went from single to married in 4 months flat. I think we went on a few dates there too. So I just want you to see, this is, this is my life. I have been living this. My daughter almost died. She was born a month early. They put her in the NICU. The doctor looked at me and he's like, she's not going to make it. And I looked at him, I said, you don't know who I am. And I walked out of there with her. So that is where I am drawing my experience and what I'm going to share here. So, and this is absolutely, I'm living this every moment of my life. So the one thing that I want to say throughout all of this is going to be a participatory thing, right? The more you put into this, the more you're going to get out. The more you put in, the more feedback I'll have to give you feedback. The more you answer questions in the group, the more I'll be able to comment and coach and help you and direct you, or even give you a free training. I have libraries full of free trainings that could help you, but I won't know what you need unless you speak up and tell me what's going on. And that includes here on this call, and that includes in the group and in Messenger. I'm in conversation with a lot of you. And if you have questions, just go ahead and send me a message. If you have a question, put it in the group. If you want to, just put things out there, because that's how I can help you. A lot of people have a problem getting help because they're not saying the thing, asking the thing, doing the thing. Well, if you want help, you're here for a reason, and I can help you. Somebody has their mic. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and mute you. There we go. All right. So perfect. So that's who I am. This is where I've come from. And I take a different approach to manifesting. The approach that I take to manifesting is I like to make things easy to understand. I like to demystify it, because I find that so many people get caught up on so many different aspects of manifesting that, because they're like, well, what about my frequency? What about my vibration? And what about am I high vibe? And does it just come in when I'm high vibe? And all of these things. And that's pretty much what we're going to cover today. But throughout this, I'm going to do my best to not only demystify manifesting to make it easy to understand in the physical sense and in the practical sense, so you can walk away and do things. You're going to have homework and you're going to do things. But my goal is for you to understand it the first time. So anytime you hear an aha, anytime something is amazing, anytime something has like become a complete moment of clarity, like drop it in the comments and let me know what it was. Or you know, share it, because this is going to help other people. Share it in the group, share it in the comments here, send me a message. It's so important. And when you acknowledge that, and when you tune into that, and when you give voice to that, is when it actually sinks in, because you've taken a moment to become very present with it. So today, and we're diving in. So today we are going to talk about, there's so many ways that this could be called, like attitude, frequency, vibration. It could be called like, you know, your state, right? There's a lot of different things that this topic I'm going to cover today could be titled. It could be titled your state, your attitude, your feelings, your vibration, you know. And it's interesting because for most people who work with me, you don't have to be high vibe to manifest. It just doesn't have to be that way because of the process I take you through. But for some people, and this is probably for a smaller percentage of people, but for some people, you won't be able to manifest if you are stuck in lower energies. Now, what are lower energies? Lower energies are energies with less power. So those are, and look, you can still manifest from these energies. I have. You can still do it, but it can be more difficult, or it's just not a sustainable energy. So lower energies, let's identify them, because even the word energies, I like to really get crystal clear on. So lower energies, frustration, anger, rage, depression, apathy. There's a couple more. I have notes here. Give me un momento. Hate, rage, jealousy, lack, powerlessness. Here's one. Unworthiness, shame, discouragement, blame. It's getting good here. It's getting good here. Pessimism, impatience, irritation, anxiety, overwhelm, boredom, doubt, difficulty, greed, resentment, guilt, and insecurity. And finally, apathy. So y'all can send this, y'all can message or put it in the chat, but I want to know, and be super honest. Did one of those stand out to you as something you are experiencing? And just drop which one it is, right? Because we've already got some ahas coming in. I have all of them. Now I know why I haven't been able to manifest anything. Impatience. So let me just say, first off, I am not pointing the finger. I have lived months of my life in the space of impatience, frustration, anger, depression, grief. My grandmother died, and like literally, it took 2 years. This is actually her 2-year anniversary for me to process. It was probably 18 months when I finally was like, whoa, I'm depressed. I'm in grieving. I'm in bereavement. I'm in this state. And it was a state of like anxiety and unfulfilled attachment. So like you can still manifest with some of these, but if this is the only space you occupy, if this is the only state that you have, it can be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Now, the thing that makes it so hard. Ooh, Maureen says she just got a light bulb moment. Share it, share it, share it. I love it. The thing that makes it so hard, and I'm going to ask everyone to clock in here. Drop an 11 in the comments if when you feel these feelings, you do the first thing you do is you push it down, you ignore it. You're like, I have other things to do. I can't deal with that right now. Or you just push it down. Or you're like, I just got to be happy. I just have to do the next thing. So essentially, what you're saying to yourself is not now. We have because I think I covered this on Friday, how to get out of that. Evelina says 11, even though you taught me better. Oh, I feel that, right? Because that is exactly what is holding you back. It's not necessarily the feeling or the emotion or the lower energy. And people call this vibrational and frequency. And really, I don't agree with those words. It's convoluted, it mucks it up. Let's just name what it is instead of using these vague words, right? So, Maureen, too worried about everyone else. Yeah, that's some people-pleasing tendencies right there. And I'm gonna drop a bomb here for you. People pleasing is really saying everyone else is more important than you. It's canceling yourself. I teach that somewhere. Where do I teach that? It's like one of the biggest things. If you're a people pleaser, drop 22 in the comments. But people pleasing is literally canceling yourself and saying you don't matter and everyone comes before you. So the thing, it's not that these, oh, I love it. I love the way everyone is showing up here today. Thank you. This is good. So it's not that these feelings or these emotions are bad. I don't ever want you to think that. This life, this experience, every emotion, everything available to you is good. It's all good. It just is, right? It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. But the problem with these energies is that we don't acknowledge them and express them. So one of my mentors has a saying that like feelings and emotions unexpressed will cry through your organs. Does anyone know what that means? Or does anyone know the outcome of that? Drop it in the comments if you know the outcome of an unexpressed feeling or an unexpressed emotion will find its tears through your organs. Yes, that's right. Disease, getting sick. Yes. It is not natural to push things down. And we have been taught through society and through our family and through, our culture to push things down because we are busy doing something else. We're busy doing the thing. We don't have time to devote to that energy, that feeling, that emotion right now, right? Yeah, we get sick. And that is actually what's stopping the manifestation. Because if you actually would just take 5 minutes of your day, 5 minutes, and acknowledge that emotion, that feeling, and I'm going to tell you how to at the end of this, you would be fine. But what happens is you go through your day and something happens. A feeling comes up, an energy, an expression, an emotion. And all of a sudden you're in a state of these emotions, feelings, lower energies that I named. And you think you don't have time to deal with it. So you push it down. But what happens is that feeling creates an imprint in your nervous system, your central nervous system. It stores every memory, every feeling, every emotion. every memory that has a feeling attached to it, good or bad. And this is why people have said you need healing to manifest, right? Which I disagree with on the whole, because you could go your whole life healing every fucking thing you've ever been through. Yes, I cursed, don't have kids around. I forgot to do that, say that. But you could go through your whole life healing every fucking thing, but there's no direct correlation between you healing that day back in 1987, just even if you weren't born then, just go with it. You know, February 2nd, 1987, healing that day is not going to necessarily correlate exactly to you getting the love of your life, manifesting six figures, having a business, job, career, life you love. There's no exact correlation. So that's why I don't necessarily agree with the fact that you have to heal everything, because healing begets a wild goose chase. Has anyone ever been like, has anyone tried healing for their journey and they're like on this wild goose chase? Like coaches and gurus and teachers will tell you, you need to heal that, you need to forgive that, you need to blah, blah, blah. Everything is healing, healing, healing. That was very popular a few years ago. I just couldn't take any more of it. Yes, always go deeper, go deeper. Like you could go down a rabbit hole for the next 100,000 years on every single moment of your life, but it's not necessarily going to give you what you want. So I do think that healing can be necessary, and it can be an important part to you becoming the person who has what you desire. But I believe in healing in a way that brings you into wholeness of your own sovereign being, your own person, and just rampant healing. If there is something that you know that needs healed, if you are suffering from sexual trauma, abuse, alcoholism, drug and alcohol abuse, whatever it is, if you need a certain type of healing, psychological, mental, narcissistic, any kind of healing, then of course, heal that so you can function. But you don't have to go on this like healing journey of digging up every last day of your life since you were 2 years old, just so you can have a 10K month. And I'm going to prove it to you. Love him or hate him, there is no better illustration that I use in manifesting than good old Donald Trump. He is my absolute favorite illustration for manifesting, because let me just tell you, if you think that he has spent any of his time healing any freaking thing in the world, one fucking thing, I'm gonna say, go back to bed. You're not making sense. Are you with me here? And yet the man has still amassed millions, $1 billion. Like what? Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not here to, I'm not here to debate how much he has, and we can all say he's done some fucking things. Can we all say that? Like, we'll put 44 in the comments for he's done some things. Is that the number president he was? I'm so bad with these numbers. And that's why I say, 45. Thank you. I was close. I was close. All right. So you don't have to heal everything, but there are some things that could need healed. So that's what I have to say about that. And those things can affect your daily attitude, your state, your behavior, right? Because these are all ways of being, right? Everything that I named, the discouragement, the impatience, the disappointment, the envy, the greed, the lack, they're all states of being. And from these states of being, you will behave out of those. You will behave out of those states. So the point to manifesting isn't that you need to be high vibe. High vibe doesn't even, all right, we're going to break it down here. Drop 33 in the comments if you want me to bust open with this, because I don't think I've shared this in a very long time. And I don't know any other manifesting teacher that's going to tell you this. And this is the real deal truth. So if you want me to share this, go ahead and drop 33. And if enough of you are serious, because you're not going to like it. I mean, I am here to go against the grain. I'm a bit of a rebel. You might notice that, right? 33. We're getting there. There's a few more people here. Hello. I love it. So here's the news. Here's the news. You don't have to be high vibe to manifest. And in fact, being high vibe, because no one really knows what the fuck high vibe is, right? Being high vibe isn't the magic potion, isn't the thing that brings your manifestation in. Is that shocking to anyone? I mean, that goes against what everyone says. But I am like so anti-high vibe, it's not even funny. Or did I lose you all? Let me know. Let me know which way you go with this. Because just being in a constant state of happiness and a constant state of joy doesn't trigger your manifestation to magically appear right before your eyes. It doesn't change your lifestyle. It doesn't change what you have, who you are, and the access to the power that you have. This doesn't seem to surprise anyone, or no one cares. I'm kind of confused here. That is it. Yeah. That's it. That's it. High vibe is a goose chase, a wild goose chase. If you spend your day trying to be high vibe, what are you going to be doing? And here's why you don't want to be high vibe, right? You're going to be ignoring your feelings and emotions that come up because you will think that's not high vibe. You will think, oh my God, I don't want to think that. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to give life to that. It's not high vibe. Let me go feel happy. And you've created a fake state of positivity. I call that Pollyanna positivity. Yep. Is this ringing true for anyone? Are you starting to see this? Give me some feedback here. Let's see how this is going. So I want to make sure this is landing. Yeah, you ignore them. That's right. You ignore them. Who has, drop a 55 in the comments if you have tried being high vibe and it just frustrates you. Or if you've at least tried being high vibe to get this done. Yes, all high vibe sucks. You are definitely chasing something like an addict. I love it. I love it. I love it. So in this moment today, I'm going to release you from ever being high vibe again. I give you permission to just be your fucking self because yourself is good enough. Yep, I've done that. I love it. I love it. Here is how you are going to go throughout your day. Here's your homework, and here is the way that you actually take control of your attitude, all right, and why you want to. So why do you want to take control of how you feel? Well, we all know that if we're in a better or happier mood, life gets easier. We can deal with things better. We have less cortisol running through our body. We all know that if we're in a happier mood, we smile more, and that makes us feel better. So we have dopamine and serotonin running in our bodies and things that feel good. And then because we are happy, people respond to us better because we're not the asshole we met that day, right? Like, that's just it. It's that simple. If you're in a better mood, better things can happen to you. It's a really simple concept, but law of attraction has really convoluted it to something really magical and mystical. Now, how do you get in a really good mood every day? Well, you decide to. But when you decide to get in a really good mood every day, you choose to be happy for no reason at all. Happy is the most illogical thing in the world. There is no reason to be happy unless there's a reason to be happy. But your happiness shouldn't be dependent upon a reason to be happy. Come on now, right? Like fucking right you do. I mean, I was a stripper for 17 years. You think I didn't have shit going on in my life that wasn't bad? You try working with a bunch of crazy ass women every night. Woo, 50 of them. And then just throw some drugs, alcohol, money in the mix, and then guys. I mean, it's a circus, right? But you can choose to be happy. LOA has brainwashed so many on the vibe trip. It's awful. Like, it's awful. So you can choose to be happy and you can keep calibrating yourself. I use that word a lot, calibrating yourself. Bring yourself back to your North Star of happiness. Bring yourself back to your set point of happiness. And I'm not saying to do this artificially. So I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I just got a vet bill for $3,500 and it looks like my dog's not going to make it. There is no space in that you should be happy. Bad things happen. Bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen regardless of who you are. And it's not necessarily your fault. This is part of life. Life is ups and downs, good and bad. We just judge it and we label it. But you can choose happiness in the space between. Choose happiness in the space between. And then in the space that is not filled with happiness, the space between the gaps of happiness, right? The gaps between the spaces of happiness. You're going to experience other emotions and feelings. You have been trained to push them down, shove them down, ignore them. Your homework for the next week, your homework until you master this, is every single time. And I just did this yesterday. I had to do this yesterday. I'm still living this. This is how I live my life. Every single time you notice yourself feeling one of those lower energy feelings that I named, one of those lower energies that I named, one of the things that you would normally push down and ignore, because let's face it, we never push down when we're in bliss, happiness, joy, success, elation. We never push those feelings down. We're never like, no happiness right now, no joy right now. We don't do that. We only do it for the bad things because we're like, oh no, it's bad. We don't want it. So your homework is the exact moment that you notice yourself feeling unhappy, feeling out of the state you want to always, like the state that is your calibration, the state that is your set point. I want you to sit down and I journal because this is the easiest way for me to focus, get in that present moment and sort my thoughts. But I write, right now I feel blank. And I had to do this yesterday. So yesterday I was feeling all good. And then all of a sudden I was not feeling good. And I got in the tub because I was like, maybe I'll get a bath. And I didn't even realize this, but this is how it works. Unconsciously, I was like, maybe I need a bath because a bath makes me feel better. I didn't know that I needed to feel better, but our bodies and our minds will constantly push us to something to feel better. So I got in the bath, which I love doing. And I had a nice bath and I got out and I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. I don't like this. And I was like, what do I feel? I'm like, I'm angry. I just stopped a minute and gave a voice to it. I identify, I'm angry. Am I anything else? I'm frustrated. I'm a little irritated. And I don't want to feel this way because it's not my normal state. So then I wrote out what makes me angry. And let me see. I wrote it right here, right there. I was in the tub and I realized I was frustrated. You might not be able to read my writing. 13 things at that moment. 13 things. 13 different things had piled up and contributed to me getting into this feeling. I'm going to share them. I haven't left the house today. I haven't done the laundry. My daughter was a bit of a like, meh. My nails weren't done. I hadn't made an appointment. My hair wasn't done. I have to plan out tomorrow's training. That was today. I need to write out some things for business. I feel overwhelmed. I need to get certain things to Ali, my assistant. I have to go pick up the dry cleaning. There's no food for me. I've been traveling so much, like I didn't order any food for me to be delivered. My daughter's room isn't clean. I'm probably hungry. 13 different things. How easy was that? This literally took 10 minutes. And then I said, okay, definitely feeling overwhelm and anxiety. I started identifying more feelings. I'm feeling overwhelm and anxiety. So that's not really great. And yesterday I was feeling so good. And even earlier I was feeling so good. So then once I expressed all of the feelings, I was feeling frustration, angry, overwhelm, anxiety. I named a couple others. Once I named all those feelings, I said, what would make me feel better? And I came up with a list of 3 things. 3 things is all it took to make me feel better. I set about doing those 3 things, and then I said, I did it. I really feel good. It like literally, it took 3 things to get rid of all of these feelings. And that is how you manage your energy. It's energy management. Being high vibe is energy management. It's not like people, they convolute it. I don't even want you being high vibe, but giving a voice to your feelings and emotions. And if you need to journal on it, if something happens and if you feel like you've been overlooked, if you feel like you've been shut down, if you feel like you've been treated poorly, get that entire emotion out. So quite often I do this exercise, or I will journal. I'll start the exercise and then I'll journal. I feel like I'm being ignored by my husband. He just walked past me and didn't tell me how beautiful I was. How fucking dare he? Right? And that's a real thing. Like if I've just made myself up and I'm walking around the house in my beautiful, like I expect to be told I'm beautiful, right? All of these things are valid because they're my feelings, my emotions. Drop a 77 if this is helping anyone. Or have I lost everyone? So your homework is maybe set a timer. I love it. Your homework is maybe set a timer on your phone or just check in a couple times a day and say, how do I feel? Am I happy? Could I choose to be happy? If I'm not happy, and if I'm not at the set point where I feel good, and good is what I'm here to feel, it's who I am. You came in to this earth, you came onto this planet as a baby, feeling perfectly great about everything. That is your natural state, to feel great, to feel joy, to feel happiness, to feel bliss. Life happens. Sometimes you didn't get a bottle fast enough, it made you upset. Life is still happening the same way. But throughout the day, either set an alarm or do it like breakfast, lunch, dinner, before bed. I don't know, whatever's going to work for you. I can't say what's going to work for you or how often you need to do it, but you need to check in with yourself, because what this is going to do is it's going to cause you to quit ignoring what you've been shoving down. And if you're shoving things down, you can't manifest because there is no flow. There is no in and output because everything is going down. And so you set this timer or you do whatever works for you and you find your set point. And the reason is because quite often we get in these slumps in life and we don't realize we've gotten there. We don't realize we've gotten into unhappiness. We don't realize we've gotten into jealousy or resentment, and we can stay in this stuck zone, and this will help bring us out of it. And it'll clear, this is what they want you to do in actuality, is clear the emotions and give a life, a voice to the expression, the emotion, the feeling that you've pushed down and ignored. Now, for some of you, that'll be like 14 years worth. For others of you, it might be 55 or 60 years worth. Imagine all of those moments of emotion that created an experience in your central nervous system, but you pushed it down. Imagine all of those are stuck in your body. How are you going to manifest anything you want with all of those stuck in your body? Do y'all see? And no, someone else can't do it for you. You can't go hire a healer and just be healed of all the bad feelings. This is a you thing. Manifesting is internal. I love it. So that's your homework. You go through, you can either choose to be happier or choose to feel better. And at first it's going to feel very uncomfortable. You're going to be like, I'm happier. Well, what would make you feel happier? Go do that, right? It sounds so simple, but go do that. Sometimes it's just wing. What can you do? What can you have in your toolbox that will trigger you into a better state? For some people, that could be an orgasm. For some people, it could be going out in the sunshine. Sunshine always helps. For some people, it could be spending a few minutes with their dog, going for a walk, having a cup of tea, making a cup of coffee, taking a nap, all kinds of things. It doesn't need to be an all-day activity. We're talking it could be 30 seconds or it could be 10 minutes. But you taking time for yourself and allowing yourself to feel better and acknowledge when you're not feeling good is the first step to actually manifesting. I love this so much. I already feel lighter. I love it. I love it. All right. Drop 88 in the comments if you're going to do the homework. I love it. Good job. Good job. I love this. Definitely 88. Y'all are amazing. Okay, so look, that is the homework. Drop it in, you know, whatever you want to do. Tell me about your experience in the group, right? Tell me about your experience in the group. Write a post and share it. That is what the group is there for, right? It's a very safe space. I don't let any people turn into assholes in there. Nobody can be a bigger jerk than me, and I can be jerky jerk when I need to be. All right, I love this. So look, I want to open this up for Q&A, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And I want you to stick with this every day through the next 5 days. But go ahead and unmute yourself. And we're going to take the last few minutes. And we're just going to talk, and I'll answer any questions you have. And I would love to hear what your biggest aha is. You can share it on video, or you can drop it in the comments, whatever your biggest aha is that I have shared today. And additionally, while I'm waiting for you to unmute yourself or ask a question so I can coach you or help you, I actually have created a calibration that will help you stay in the present moment. And because you're participating in this course, it is actually going to be $22 for you. It is, my calibrations are life-changing. So what are my calibrations? My calibrations are my own way of doing things that actually calibrate you to the energy of power that you need to manifest whatever it is you want. My calibrations are just literally extraordinary ways for you to start living in alignment to your higher self and your power. Megan can probably tell you how my calibrations are. Biggest aha, energy management. I love that. I love that. Does anyone have any questions? If you want the present moment, which is like the power of now, right? Like Eckhart Tolle wrote about this, it's the power of now. The present moment is going to calibrate you to being happy, to acknowledging your feelings, to everything that comes with being present enough to be in that single moment. So if you want that, just go ahead and send me present moment and a message, and I will get you the special rate of $22. Naming the feelings and going through them and going back to the North Star. I love it. I love the calibrations too. First thing I did this morning, whoop, whoop, they will change your life. They will change your life. All right. Do we have any, Megan's like, the calibrations are the best. Thank you. Do we have any questions or any comments? You can unmute yourself. No questions from Megan. Any questions with anyone else? Megan, would you be willing to unmic yourself? I know you've done a few calibrations. If anyone here has done a calibration and they want to share about it, if you feel like it, Megan, that would be great, so people can understand like how powerful they are from someone who has done them. And you actually will get access to this in the private portal.
Every time you do them, they build on each other, and it feels better every time you do them. So when you don't do them, all of a sudden you're like feeling lost, but not lost. But then you just do one calibration and you're back in sync and you're moving forward, and it's a beautiful process.
Whew. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. How do I distinguish between a looping thought that's a thought that is releasing and a thought you need to acknowledge? I don't think I cover that, Betty. I don't know.
Oh, you were saying we need to kind of acknowledge our thoughts, emotions, etc.
Acknowledge your thoughts and feelings. Yes.
Thoughts, feelings, yes. And then
so if you're to acknowledge a feeling or an emotion, you just simply express it. A feeling and an emotion wants to be expressed. So once you name it and you express it, it shouldn't continue to loop.
Then is it something that's just releasing? Like last night I was having trouble. Like I know I had thoughts and they just kept going.
What were they, feelings and emotions?
Yeah, I guess it was stress.
Okay, so stress is not necessarily a feeling or emotion, it's a state, like, right? So stress is like a vague terminology. So what was the feeling that you kept, I don't understand, because like when you feel a feeling, you just push it down. You're feeling a feeling and you push it down because you don't want to acknowledge it. So what was the feeling that you were feeling?
Well, I guess probably fear.
Okay, so you were feeling fear about what?
Relationship issues, where to live. Like I have a number of things going on at
So
the
you
moment.
had, okay, so the thing is you would have to sit down just like I did and go through all of those 13 things to name each one. So I'm feeling fear. Fear about what? Fear about relationships, where to live, what my next steps are. That has me feeling anxious, frustrated, worried, right? Like you have to go through the process and allow these things out. Right? Okay. So you would have to like make a list of everything you feel. What would feel better? What would feel better if I had some certainty? How do I get certainty? Well, I can decide where I want to live. I can make a list of, what my next steps are. I can call a realtor. I'm uncertain in my relationship. I can decide what I want, regardless of what they want. And I can decide what I'm available for. Right? What am I feeling fear around? I'm feeling fear around, just as an example, Betty, I know this isn't your thing, but I'm feeling fear around finances. So like, I'm almost out of savings, or I have to move next month, or things like that. So what can I do to feel better about finances? I can take a more proactive approach to X, Y, and Z. Does it make sense now?
Yes, it does.
Perfect.
Thank you, Sherry. You're always so good at that.
What's that?
You're always so good at that.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And you always ask the toughest questions. So there, we both have something going. I'm just going to invite you to all of my trainings, be like, can you just show up and ask the question that like is the toughest thing to make sure I know what I'm doing and talking about. But I like it. It's a good question. Thank you, Betty. Does anyone else have a question? No questions? All right, well, I think we are all done. So I will see you all tomorrow. And if you would like the replay, go ahead and let me know if you have a chance, and you can message me and post in the group. All right, you all have an amazing day. Thank you for being here. You are so welcome. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you. Oh, y'all are so lovely. Thank you. All right, goodbye.